Welcome, everyone, to our second Trades Tomorrow 2025 panel with young people in the skilled trades in the Lambton Kent District School Board. Joining me is Natalie, Agricultural Equipment Technician Apprentice, Isaiah, Licensed Sheet Metal Worker, and Leanne, General Machinist Apprentice. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for participating in this discussion. Natalie, I want to start off with you. Can you tell everyone watching how did you become interested in the agricultural equipment technician field, and what's been a big benefit for you so far?
When I first started in like the agriculture side, I kind of got really into it from working on farms and just learning how everything runs properly. So it was definitely a personal benefit to like how I'm working here now.
Awesome. And Isaiah, congratulations on getting your license. Start
Thank you.
start us off a little from the beginning. How did you get interested?
I wasn't interested at all, honestly. My brother actually did his co-op at a sheet metal shop, and so he told me to go do the same thing. So I did just that. And honestly, I fell in love with the guys there. They're an awesome group of guys, and they kind of gave me the rundown on all that they were doing there. And I did co-op there a year and a half, so I
Hmm?
did a full day and a half day. I liked it so much I stayed, and I fell in love with everything they were doing. They uh, they do all sorts of things. See, I didn't want to be limited down to kind of one sort of thing. I like a really broad trade. So
Hmm.
that that trade is really, really broad. So I've seen over the year and a half, I've seen a lot of things that they were doing that really interests me. And so,
Awesome. I like um, I like that right off the bat you mentioned the people that you work with.
oh, it's amazing.
It's good. And Leanne, how about a general machinist? How did you get interested in that?
I first became interested in the trade after taking machine shop in my high school. And then I grew up on a farm, so I've always been used to using my hands, which is what general machinists do for the most part. And then my personal benefit so far has been that I will be able to follow through with my career through an apprenticeship, which not everybody has that opportunity to do.
Great. Well, let's go there, Leanne. The OYAP program, Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. How or what made you choose to try out the program, and how has the experience been so far?
It's been really good. I chose the OYAP program as I was able to jumpstart my career. I was able to use my co-op hours through school to use towards my apprenticeship, and I also knew that I'd be able to get a lot of hands-on working as I did the apprenticeship,
Mhm.
and my employers helped me gain like very good experience and teach me life skills that I'll be able to transfer no matter where I end up working after.
Great. And Natalie, did you have a similar experience as to why you chose the program?
Yeah, so when I did my co-op, I did it at the place I work at now. So the guys were always nice to me and always willing to help out if I ever need it. So it definitely gained my interest and decided to pursue. So that was really good.
And Isaiah, what role did OYAP play in your journey, culminating in getting your license?
It played a big role. Honestly, I didn't know exactly what trade I wanted to go into. So it gave me the experience to experience the trade before I made a commitment. So obviously for me, I fell in love with where I was at, so I decided to stay. But it really is a game changer. A lot of people go to school and maybe they lose interest or it's not really what they wanted to do, but this gives you the chance to make that commitment and realize that is what you want to do because you can jump around co-op place to place if you really needed to. Next semester you could go do something else or whatever it may be.
Right. And
But it's a good experience in that aspect.
I like that part of your journey is that you tried it out and then realized you liked it. And that's a great benefit of OYAP to try out a skilled trade. Leanne, what does a general machinist do? I think some people watching might want to know. And what do you like about it the most?
A general machinist cuts and shapes and finishes like machine parts to precision, and they are able to read and like blueprints and set up and operate like saws, grinders, drills, lathes, mills, and you're constantly measuring and using precision tools and equipment. While I was at my co-op, I enjoyed setting up the work pieces into different machines as they all had to be fully secured before so they wouldn't move.
Hmm. And you apply math?
Yeah, you always use a lot of math while you're doing it because you have to subtract from your total diameter or whatever you're working on while you're measuring.
Great. And thanks, Leanne. Isaiah, many people also similarly don't know what a sheet metal worker does. You know, what is it and what do you like about it?
Sheet metal pretty much is the design, layout, fabrication, assembly, install, and repair of sheet metal products. So anything that's thin gauge material, it can be bent in any shape, is sheet metal. And there's so many different aspects of sheet metal, right? There's architectural sheet metal, there's fabricating, there's HVAC systems. So there's such a broad trade that I like about it because once you're a licensed sheet metal worker, you can do any of those things. You can go any way,
Yeah.
which way you want, right? You're not limited down to one specific thing.
It's exciting. Bright future ahead for sure in that field for you. So, Natalie, many students who are interested in skilled trades, often we hear automotive service as something that's of interest, but you're working on a different type of machinery, much larger, including something behind you. What does an agricultural equipment technician do?
So on a normal day, we get into work and get a job right off the bat, so we know what we're doing for the day. It can range from CSIs, which is basically an inspection of the equipment, making sure it's in good operation in case people want to trade in their equipment and get bigger stuff if they ever need, and really just make sure it's in tip-top shape for the season.
So, Natalie, would you say, what does it take to really excel at your trade?
Definitely, you got to be really good with hands-on. Got to make sure you can handle all the equipment, make sure to be safe around it. Because agriculture equipment, things can go south no matter what the issue is. It can be as simple as turning it on, running it. There's always a danger in the trade.
Great safety consciousness. Isaiah, how about you? What does it take to really excel in sheet metal?
For me, you need a willing to learn. So you need to want to learn. Now, you're gonna get guys that are gonna all sorts of people do different things different ways. So you need an open mind to accept all that. Obviously, you need a good work ethic. And once you get good, once you take everybody's information because they're gonna feed you information, um, once you get good, then you get fast. So you're gonna want to perform. Obviously, do your best. Work as if you know the owner of the company is standing over your shoulder.
Hmm.
It's a good way to excel. And you want to market yourself. So within our trade, a lot of people travel. People go here, there, and everywhere. So you're pretty much marketing yourself. Everybody knows everybody. So everybody's got their eyes on you. You think they're not watching, but they know you and they're going to remember how well you did, right? So you
Okay,
want to market yourself in that way if you want to do
great.
good.
Great advice. Leanne, we heard marketing yourself, having a good work ethic, working well among team. Know that you are under the microscope, especially when you're starting out. How about you? What does it take to excel as a general machinist?
As a general machinist, I would say to excel, you need to be able to do quick math while you're measuring constantly and to read blueprints, as every piece has different ins and outs to how the company wants it. And once those skills are down, everything else will come throughout the machine shop.
Okay. So one thing that I've noticed more and more when I visit different workplaces is technology, sometimes in places where you wouldn't expect it. Leanne, for you, do you see technology changing your industry? And what are there some skills that machinists need to, improve to keep up?
Technology is rapidly transforming the shop, introducing like greater and bigger machines, and machinists need to develop skills in the CNC programming or the computer aid design, which is also CAD, to continue to like stay and be competitive in their field.
Okay. And I've also, Natalie, seen technology in places where I wouldn't expect, such as in, I'm not sure you would call it a tractor, but a giant tractor with a
Yeah.
triangular wheel I've seen, and there's a laptop inside near the driver. How is technology changing your field?
Technology is always changing in the agriculture business. There's always something going wrong, whether it's GPS or any controller module inside the component of the tractor. Anything can go at any time. It's much like a car in that way. Cars have issues all the time with electronic issues. Just tractors is way more difficult to diagnose because you have to go through all these steps and hook up your computer, hook up anything that you can to make sure it's in proper order.
Okay, great. And Isaiah, I gotta say, sheet metal work, as I suggested earlier, people don't think of it. Why do you think that is the case, that people associate skilled trades with carpenter, plumber, electrician, very common, and a sheet metal worker doesn't often come up? And what can we do about that?
I think, well, honestly, it's all around. It's sheet metals everywhere, right? So it's such a broad trade. Like anything under 3/8 of an inch is sheet metal. So that's everything. That's door frames, everything. So it's a really broad trade. So I feel like people don't narrow it down to one trade. So there's so many different avenues, right? There's roofing, decking, siding, air balancing with HVAC systems. There's fabrication, HVAC system install, and some sheet metal work is similar to other trades. So I feel like a lot of people don't base that on one trade when it really is all around. When people think, let's say, siding, they'll think that's their own thing, but it really is all sheet metal.
I
Such a
see.
broad trade, right? I think a way to get it out there more was I would rather see tech classes in high school do more sheet metal projects to kind of get it out there a bit. Explain trades a little better, elaborate on the trades available, right? I feel like that's something I didn't learn too much in school, what really is out there. And more programs just like this. I feel like this is good to help, share personal experiences. It hits a little closer to home with people when they hear people that have already done it. So more stuff like
Exactly.
that will get it out there,
Yes.
right?
Hundreds of students will now know about sheet metal and agricultural equipment and general machinists, thanks to all of you. That's great. So, Leanne, you brought something to show everyone here that's essential to your job as a general machinist apprentice. What is that you just flashed? Let's see it. Please explain what that is.
I brought in a digital vernier caliper. It's a measuring tool that I used every day while I was at co-op and during my classes at school. And it's used to measure inner and outer diameters of objects that are made out of steel or basically anything, but for machining it was steel. And it's used to measure the thickness and of different shapes and stuff. And it's essential as it's a quick way to measure while still being pretty precise.
Very cool. So, if you were to lose that somewhere, that wouldn't be good.
No.
And Natalie, you brought something as well. Can you show everyone and explain what it is?
Yeah, so this is an air hammer. It basically breaks up any seized part. Today I used this quite a lot. Had a working on this tractor behind me and had to pull the hubs and everything off. So to pull the hubs off, you gotta take the kingpins out. So the kingpins were seized in, so this is the best way to get it out. Most trades I would say don't really use air hammers because mostly in automotive, they never really use them because they can use like a sledgehammer or something like that, where agriculture, you have to use something really heavy.
Okay. I didn't know that, and that's one great distinction. In addition to the size of the vehicles, the different types of tools that you use. Um, uh, Isaiah, say something about the skilled trades and any myths that maybe you had or had heard of going in, and maybe you could set the record straight about something that maybe people believe that isn't true.
sheet metal workers aren't all deaf. We do a
Sheet
lot
metal,
of tin
say it
banging.
again.
Sheet metal workers aren't all deaf.
Okay.
I hear that one a lot. We do a lot of banging on steel, but there's a lot of PPE now. So you'll
Mhm.
probably meet an old sheet metal worker that can't hear. That's because they probably didn't use earplugs back in the day. You might
I
meet a
see.
sheet metal worker that has one eye, but back in the day, they didn't even wear safety glasses. So
Yeah,
things are changing a lot, right?
definitely
Um,
changed. I haven't been on a work site to visit where I haven't been forced to have all of the personal protective equipment before even setting foot on a floor.
exactly, exactly.
Great, great. And Leanne, how about you? Any myths about the skilled trades or your field in particular?
I would say that I heard that machinists perform all the same tasks, but in reality, they all have different levels of expertise in their fields, requiring like a mix of different jobs and tasks that they do to produce like different parts. While I
Okay.
was at co-op, um, like you never had the same job. Every day it was a different project that you were working on, and everybody's working on different things while you're there.
So lots and lots of variety.
Yeah.
And Natalie, any myths about the skilled trades or your field in particular?
Probably my field in particular that women can't do the trade that I'm in. We always get classified as like the weaker. So it's always nice to like prove people wrong and make like show people that we actually belong in the trades.
Okay, let's go there. That's a great answer. Natalie, what's it like being a woman in a what could be described as a traditionally male-dominated field?
So for my trade at least, I always get the comment like, "Oh, you shouldn't be in this trade." It's like anyone can really do this trade. It's just depending on your work ethic and how hard you put in the time and effort to actually do the job.
Yeah, it's got to be more than just what you say. You got to show
Yeah.
them with your actions. Leanne, how about yourself? What's it been like being a woman in in the shop?
My experience was actually quite eye opening. Walking into the shop, there was no girls' washroom, there was only a male's. So I had to go into the office every time I had to use the washroom, which I was
Wow.
the first woman co op student that they had took, or even the first woman that worked there. They never had that problem before. So they didn't realize that until I came in, like, because the only girls there were the girls that were working in the office. But while I was there, every guy worker that was there treated me very nice and no different for being a girl. They loved me being there and learning the same thing as if I was there as a guy, and I showed them that even though I was a girl, I could keep up.
Yes, good. And talk about that being an eye opener, right? The bathroom
Yeah.
situation. And you've paved the way for future women in that company, right? In a really
Mhm.
important way. Isaiah, can you say something about the challenges that you faced? Seems like safety related challenges are not so much an issue anymore. Anything else? Maybe during your apprenticeship or now that you're a licensed sheet metal worker?
I would say starting out at the bottom is always a challenge, starting anywhere, especially coming out of school, you don't know what to expect, right? So when you get handed the worst jobs imaginable, you're starting out at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
So pushing through that, taking it day by day, getting those jobs done and doing your best at it will definitely stand you out from everybody else, right? Keeping a positive attitude because they look all that because you really got to look at it like a test. Really, they're testing you, and that determines how far you'll go. And as time goes on, it does get better because they watched how you handle pressure, what you do, and how you react to it, right?
Hmm.
So, really overcoming the worst jobs
Yeah.
is part of
And
starting out. That's the battle.
that's great. That's great advice built in there too. Natalie, any challenges aside from the being a woman in a non-traditional field?
Um, I haven't had too many challenges. Everyone's always willing to help if I'm ever struggling or taking too long. They'll always be like, okay, let's reassess, let's work through it, let's come up with ideas to like come and fix this. My boss is definitely one of those types of people that doesn't want to see like a woman in the trades field, so he'll always come out and give me a hand whenever I need it. So that's probably the most beneficial thing for me so far.
That's good. It's good to have a good boss, manager. How have you dealt with challenges, Leanne?
Um, it was tough at the beginning to achieve like the precise tolerances, but I worked to overcome them by measuring more with the measuring tools to make sure that I was like coming into the tolerance correctly.
Hmm.
Um, and just making sure that I was even using the measuring tools like correctly because if you're off by a little bit, that will mess up the whole measurement.
Hmm. Good. So as you all develop your skills, the future is quite bright. Um, I'll I'll ask this question to Leanne. What's the future like for you? What are some future opportunities if you were to continue as a general machinist?
I would be having a future in like different like industries like manufacturing or automotive. Many things use machinists to make parts, and changing over to bigger technologies like CNC machines will come in hand if I'm able to program those things.
Okay, great. And Isaiah, I had a feeling you're going to open your own business someday, Isaiah. But you tell me what future careers, it's because you mentioned marketing, the
Yeah,
importance of
yeah.
marketing. Well, what future opportunities lie for you?
Well, you can take with sheet metal, you can go so many different ways, right? You can take the air balancing aspect of sheet metal for balancing HVAC systems. You can even get your gas license, install furnaces in residential. You can weld, right? There's so many different avenues. You can also teach. So you can teach sheet metal at college or even tech classes in a high school, for example. Being in a trade that goes towards your experience, right? So you could take tech class avenue, but also within a company, you could be, right? You could move up to foreman, general foreman, superintendent, stuff like that. And honestly, it's you try your hardest, you do a good job, and it's not too far away. It seems unreachable, but it is right there. I mean, I'm 23 and I've already had months of foreman experience and many, many people under me. I think the most people I had was 32 people under me at one
Wow.
time. So it really is you try and you will see results. So
Very impressive. Very impressive. And again, you're a theme of something you mentioned a few times that do good work and people will notice.
exactly.
The right people notice. Natalie, what future career opportunities lie for you?
Future opportunities are definitely getting certified, getting your red seal, and then you can challenge your CFQ, which you can go the transport way or you can go back to automotive. So really, agriculture is just kind of in the middle. So you can either get certified with agriculture, and then you can always challenge it later on if you ever need. But there's always two different careers you can always go with agriculture. You can go heavy equipment, or you can, which is like construction workers or doing highway trucks and transport trucks like that.
And for yourself personally, are you leaning toward a particular area?
I'm more into transport or not transport trucks, sorry, into agriculture side of it. Transport trucks, I've done that for a few years prior to going into this right away. And it's just kind of all the same stuff all the time. So it's good to get different jobs here and there and always like learning, like expanding your research level and all this. So it's definitely agriculture side, which I'm going for.
Good, exciting. So, just my last question, Leanne, what advice would you give to students who are interested in the trades, but maybe their parents aren't fully supportive? What would you say to them?
My advice would be to just join OYAP. You can't go wrong with it. You could get a co-op through high school into the trade that you've chosen, and if you don't like it, then you're not losing anything out of it because you're still just in high school. You're getting credits for it. Um, and if you join the OYAP, you're just quick starting your career by having your hours through co-op come into your apprenticeship hours. And with students that parents aren't fully supportive with, an OYAP would hopefully be able to show and educate your parents through the trade that you've chosen. And yeah, it's just a great pathway.
Right, excellent advice. Hope some parents are watching here. Isaiah, how about you? What would you say to parents, or pardon me, students whose maybe parents aren't that supportive?
I would say a benefit is you can start right away. So personally, I started the week after I graduated. So I was signed up as an apprentice the week after. And you got to remember by that point, you're putting money in your pension already. You get benefits. There's so many benefits of being a unionized sheet metal worker, right? So obviously, when you come out of school, you can go to college, you can spend lots of money in college, or you can start getting paid right away. And sheet metal workers make a decent wage right away. Now, I would say for sheet metal, you only need 6 months of schooling total. So it's basic, intermediate, and advanced. So that's 2 months each. You can do them. I did one year after year. So the January for 3 years. And the rest is all hours. So you need 9,000 hours. So you're getting paid to learn, right? So I never spent a dime going to school. I actually got paid to go to school. I think the only thing I had to spend for sheet metal is a little bit of tools and some drafting equipment. So you're paid to do everything to throughout your whole apprenticeship. Um, Personally, another one would be freedom. So nothing's keeping you staying local to yourself. You can go anywhere. I could travel all around Canada and I could call Edmonton, Alberta tomorrow and have a job for Monday next week. So nothing's holding me here. Say you don't want to live here, you want to go somewhere else. Well, you can have a job Monday there. And there's really nothing telling you the minimum or the maximum amount of time you can take off a year for vacation. So you'll hear your parents saying, "Oh, I have a week, 2 weeks vacation for the year." There's nothing telling you how much you can take off. You could say, "I want 2 months off. I don't want to
Yeah.
work the summer," and just get laid off. There's nothing telling you in writing how much you can take off. Now, obviously, a big benefit that I love is you can travel. So there's big jobs all around Canada that you can get on. Now you'll work more hours. You'll get paid room and board. They'll house you and feed you so you don't have to pay rent or nothing. They clean your rooms on some big jobs, and you're working a lot of hours, so you're making a lot more. Now, a problem when I wanted to get in the trades is I would Google, oh, how much does a sheet metal worker make? But you can't do that because they give you a
Mm.
general idea. It really is depends. If you can make as much as you want, I would say. If you want to go and hit big job after big job across Canada, you can go and do that and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, that has saved me. Obviously, with the economy nowadays, it's hard to get a house. So I would say to parents in a tough economy, do you really want to be in that much debt coming out of college,
Mhm.
right? Or do you want to travel the world, travel Canada, and work those hours and save up and be able to afford something in this tough economy nowadays, which has personally saved me, right? I'm happy I did what I did because I actually can
Mhm.
afford working big job after big job because I do travel and hit big jobs. So when you work a lot of hours, you're making a lot, really. I think parents don't realize when they think trades, they think, oh, your hourly rate is $48. But they don't
Right.
realize if you work the hours, you're getting double time, you're getting paid room and board. I'm on a big job right now where my coworker didn't miss a day and he made $270,000 last year. Now people don't know that when they think trades,
That's true.
but it's out there and you can do it.
I mean, great advice. I mean, this is definitely a segment to clip and share and get parents hearing this. Last word to you, Natalie. What advice would you have for students who are interested in trades, but maybe their parents aren't so supportive right now?
Definitely get more information about the trades and like OYAP and co-op. Definitely learn more about it because my parents were like that. They were kind of iffy about me going into the trades, but once we did like research about it and got more into it, it was more, yeah, let's get you into it. Let's get you figured out and all this. And through Most of trades programs you get tool grants, so you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars of tools. You get these grants, and it's very beneficial to most techs in everyday world.
Right. I like that a good summary of a lot of what everyone said here was being able to finish or graduate from your pathway completely debt free and even have money in the bank to start your life. Something that so many people, including parents, just didn't know was a pathway and those kinds of exciting possibilities. Everybody, this was an excellent discussion. You are all super inspiring. I know that the people around you must be very proud of you. Thank you all very much for your time and your insights today, and thank you all for watching. This has been a great second Trades Tomorrow panel, and we're gonna see you again soon.